Hello my fellow miner. We are very soon at a point where we can see which miner is the best. This is the video where we can compare all the results as we have tested GMINER, TRXMINER, NBMINER and now LOLMNER with full LHR unlock and also unlock for the RTX 3050 and RTX 3080 12 gigs. Besides testing Lolminer 1.50, in this video we will also be having a look at which miner is the best, including true hash rate. Yes, reported hash rate is not always what it seems. But first, a little promo for Fellow Miner membership. Hello my fellow miner. Are you tired of waiting 24 to 48 hours for a proper in-depth video on a new miner? Are you eager to see some results fast? Well, then the Fellow Miner membership is something for you. The Quick Look series is going exclusive for members only. For only $9.99 you can get a membership and access to the Quick Look series. Isn't that fantastic? Well, okay, the price may be a bit less than that, but still it's cost something. Oh, you're surprised? Because I'm Danish and we are all socialists here. No, we are not actually socialists, we are capitalists, and this is a prime proof of it. Isn't that nice? Now you may ask me, why would you ever become a member just to get access to the Quick Look series? Well, you may not, but you'll also have my eternal gratitude, which should mean something. Well, okay, yeah, most likely not, but whatever. So if this sounds compelling, too good to say no to, then go and become a member, fellow miner. If this becomes a success, I may create a new membership that's called Fellow Miner RGB with more stuff in it, because RGB is awesome. So join now. Lolminer 1.50 full LHR unlock. Changelog. Graphic cards. Overclock settings including how to set up in HiveOS, how to set up in Windows 10, results, conclusion, and profits. If you have already watched the graphic card intro, then feel free to skip it as there is nothing new. Changelog. Yes, this is a big one. There's even more than this, but I've taken what I find the most important. First of all, we have a lowering of the fee now to 0.7%, which makes it 0.3% cheaper than all the rest. Then of course we have full LHR unlock on V1 and V2 LHR and 90+% on the LHR V3, which is the RTX 3050 and RTX 3080 12 gigs. Head over to Lolminer's GitHub page for the full changelog. Quickly moving on like a ninja. We're going to have a look at the RTX 3050 from MSI, the Ventus 2X, the RTX 3060 LHR version 2 from Zotac Gaming. It has been working perfectly, in very good quality to be honest. The RTX 3060 Ti from Asus, their TUF series. No, that is actually the wrong picture. There, now we have the right one. The graphic card comes with 2 balls of steel in each fan. Military grade. Yes, a piano was dropped on my head as a kid, so I am legally excused. We also have the MSI Venture 3, which is also an RTX 3060 Ti, rocking Hynix RAM. But this time it's a revision 2, and that means it can actually clock up to 1700 in Windows or 3400 in HiveOS. This very nice card is super slim and super noisy. Then we have the RTX 3070 iChill 4X from Inno3D. It's actually surprisingly good. The quality is top notch. I have not changed anything. It's super cool actually. And then of course it comes with lots of RGBs that you cannot turn off via the software because the software part sucks. But it doesn't matter because more RGBs, more mega hash. Up next we have the RTX 3070 Ti from Zotac Gaming, also known as the DIY 3070 Ti because it drops thermal padding and comes with screws that have fallen out. I actually expected the quality to be on par with their RTX 3060. Oh boy was I wrong, what a pile of poop. And then we have the RTX 3080 LHR from Gigabyte, Vision Overclock Revision 2. It's actually quite good looking, but I wish you could get it in black brushed metal instead, even though it doesn't really matter because it's part of my mining rig and I never see it. the RTX 3080 12GB RAM edition from Gigabyte, the gaming overclock LHR Extreme. Okay, it's not actually called Extreme. Unfortunately, my RTX 3080 Ti is on vacation and will be back after repairs. If you haven't subscribed, Uncle Donkey would very much like you to hit subscribe and afterwards that bell notification. Yes, the bell, so you can get spammed even while you sit on the toilet. I mean, who doesn't want to get a random notification at random times around the clock? It is very nice. So remember to hit the bell notification and you will get unwanted messages all the time. Ethereum overclock settings. Overclock settings for the RTX 3050. Lock the core clock to 1200 and set the memory clock to 2300 in HiveOS and 1150 in Windows. This can now be LHR unlocked but not 100%. And now the overclock settings for the RTX 3060 LHR V2 mining Ethereum. Lock the core clock at 1552, set the memory clock to 2600 in HiveOS, which is 1300 in Windows. Onto the overclock settings for the RTX 3060 Ti Hynix Revision 1 mining Ethereum. Lock the core clock at 1350, set the memory clock to 2100 in HiveOS and 1050 in Windows. Now the overclock settings for the RTX 3060 Ti LHR Hynix Revision 2 mining Ethereum. Lock the core clock at 1500 and the memory clock at 3200 in HiveOS and 1600 in Windows. It is time to have a look at the overclock settings for the RTX 3070 LHR mining Ethereum. Lock the core clock at 1125, set the memory clock to 2400 in HiveOS, which is 1200 in Windows. Now let's have a look at the overclock settings for the RTX 3070 Ti mining Ethereum. Lock the core clock at 900, set the memory clock to 2100 in HiveOS, 1050 in Windows. Now let's have a look at the overclock settings for the RTX 3080 10GB mining Ethereum. Set the core clock to 1100 and the memory clock to 2800 in HiveOS, which is 1400 in Windows. And the final card until I get my RTX 3080 Ti back from repairs. Let's have a look at the overclock settings for the RTX 3080 12GB mining Ethereum. Lock the core clock at 1400, set the memory clock to 3200 in HiveOS, which is 1600 in Windows. To get Lolminer 1.50 release version in HiveOS, simply update. It is available now. In Windows, simply create a bash file based upon what you see here and set your memory in MSI Afterburner and run the bash file as admin. Also remember to set your fan speed. Results. Now let's have a look at the results for the RTX 3050 mining Ethereum. Lolminer is behind NBMINER when it comes to the RTX 3050, even if you account for lower fee and true hash rate. However, it is the most efficient of them all, if we look at HiveOS that is. Now let's have a look at the results for the RTX 3060 mining Ethereum. Average hash rate for Lolminer is 49.1 MHz per second in HiveOS and in Windows 48.9 MHz per second. Looking at min-max hash rate, it is rock stable in HiveOS while there is a bit of fluctuation in Windows. We will see the same if we look at min-max watts. Now let's have a look at the results for the RTX 3060 Ti Hynix Revision 1 mining Ethereum. Lolminer is getting 58.8 MHz per second average in HiveOS and 56.9 in Windows, which makes it the lowest performer in Windows while being quite good if you look at true hash rate, which we will come to in the conclusion in HiveOS. Again, looking at min-max hash rate and min-max watts, we'll see that it is rock stable in HiveOS while fluctuating a bit in Windows. Now let's have a look at the RTX 3060 Ti Hynix Revision 2 mining Ethereum. Lolminer is getting 64.0 in HiveOS and 61.3 in Windows, which makes it actually the worst one again in Windows, but on par or even better in HiveOS depending on true hash rate. Again, we see that it is rock stable in both hash rate and watts when looking at min-max in HiveOS while fluctuating quite a bit in Windows. Now let's have a look at the results for the RTX 3070 mining Ethereum. Lolminer is getting 60.9 MHz per second average in HiveOS and 60.7 average in Windows. Looking at min-max hash rate, it is rock stable in HiveOS while it fluctuates a little bit in Windows. Looking at min-max watts, it fluctuates 1 watt on both. Now let's have a look at the results for the RTX 3070 Ti mining Ethereum. Lolminer's average hash rate in HiveOS is 78.0 while being 73.5 in Windows. That is a huge difference. In HiveOS there is some minor fluctuation in min-max hash rate and watts, while there is a huge one in Windows. But overall it is much lower, even the peak in Windows. Now let's have a look at the results for the RTX 3080 10 gigs mining Ethereum. In HiveOS, Lolminer is getting 101.4 MHz per second average, while in Windows it is at 100.8. Looking at min-max hash rate, we see that it fluctuates 0.9 in Windows, while no fluctuation at all in hash rate in HiveOS. However, looking at the min-max watts, we'll see that it fluctuates a little when it comes to watts in HiveOS and a lot more in Windows. Now let's have a look at the results for the RTX 3080 12 gigs mining Ethereum. Here we see that Lolminer in HiveOS is getting 111.2 MHz per second average, while in Windows 110.5 MHz per second. That makes Lolminer the absolute best LHR unlocker for the RTX 3080 12 gigs. And these are just reported, so when you add in the true hash rate, it becomes even better. Now let's have a quick look at the mining screen. To the left we have HiveOS and to the right we have Windows. Looking at the LHR unlock for the RTX 3050 and RTX 3080 12 gigs, they are exactly the same value in both Windows and HiveOS. Note that I ran it for 16 hours and 7 minutes in HiveOS, while only 2 hours and 8 minutes in Windows. Well, I actually did run it more, but I will not say why I didn't have my 10 hours test here, because I'm too stupid. Conclusion. Right, so let's start off with Windows. Is Lolminer worth it in Windows? The answer is no, it is actually not very good in Windows for some odd reason, with the exception of the RTX 3080 12 gigs. If you are using Windows and you don't own an LHR V3 card like the RTX 3050 or RTX 3080 12 gigs, then you are actually better off using GMINER, as it performs a little bit better than T-Rex. But then again, the difference is so tiny that T-Rex miner may actually be the best when we account for true hash rate. Lolminer and NBMINER alike have problems in Windows where they have some fluctuation that is quite big compared to the other two miners. Well, what about HiveOS? To me, I will go with Lolminer in HiveOS due to it being rock stable just like GMINER, but also actually the most profitable due to a lower fee that is on 0.7 instead of 1%, and also the true hash rate. And you keep hearing me talk about this true hash rate, but what is it? Head over to hashrate.no and you'll be able to find the test of the LHR card, and you'll see the deviation on the different miners. The deviation is the difference between the actual hash rate using Team RedMiner's hash rate tester and the reported hash rate. So the hash rate you see on the screen in the miner. Unfortunately, the latest GMINER has not been tested with the full LHR unlock, but still this gives a pretty good picture of what the difference is. If we add the fee and the deviation together and subtract it from the hash rates, then you'll get the true hash rate, so what you can actually expect to get paid for. In Lolminer you have to subtract 0.67%. T-Rex miner you have to subtract 2.12% and NBMINER 2.14% from the reported results. Unfortunately, as I said, we have no idea about GMINER, but I would suspect that it is around the same as shown here, 1%, so subtract 2% for now. That actually makes Lolminer the most profitable in HiveOS. Looking at all this with neutral glasses is kind of hard, because you would feel a bit cheated that there's an extra fee of over 1%. Well, the deviation is not actually an extra fee, as they are definitely not keeping that amount for themselves, but it is something that will hit your profits. But at least now you have the correct info to actually make a right choice, and if you choose to go with T-Rex or NBMINER or GMINER in HiveOS, well, then you are very well aware that you lose 1% extra compared to what is reported. Before we move on and have a look at profits based on reported hash rate, not true hash rate, I would like you to please click like on the video if you like it, dislike if you didn't like it, subscribe if you haven't, and share the video everywhere. Thank you very much. Profits. Ka-ching!